Alright, so we got a lot of action going on down here at the shop as we're unburying ourselves out from underneath a gob of restorations we're working on. Where we constantly bring in collision type work or something small. Now, if you follow any of Sunday Morning Coffee, which is my weekly vlog, I reckon, I keep pressing the point of being system dependent versus person dependent. What that really means is, I'll show you on this little collision job we're working on. What that means is we've got a system in place. Things get done in a certain order and by a certain specification. Standard operating procedures. That way anybody can come in at any point through the course of a project and fill in for whoever started it. This is a little Mazda, I think it's a Mazda 6. I'll show you kind of what's going on here. Right now we just got it pulled in. We got this car in yesterday afternoon and it's supposed to leave later this week. We just got it pulled in. You'll notice Joe is washing the car. We want all the road grime off of it. We want tar, bugs, whatever. We want to wash as many contaminants off this car as we possibly can before we get started. Now this car will probably get washed again on its way out the door. Once we get done with that, we'll pull the battery cable so we're not killing the battery down, and we'll pull that mirror and get that rocker cover off. I'll show you why. I'll avoid sprinkles if I can. So we got damages over here on this steel rocker structure. The plastic rocker cover has to come off in order for me to deal with that. We got damage on the door itself, if it'll focus. We're going to deal with that damage on that door. A little bit of damage on the front fender, so it'll end up getting painted. That door there's nothing wrong with, oddly enough. And then we've got this here, which is like a side swipe damage or something, I don't know. Anyhow, there's rust down here, so we're actually going to get into cutting this apart. We're going to get into cutting that apart. We got a plastic liner up there we got to take out, so this wheel will have to come off. So we get them clean. I'll get out of Joe's way because he wants to do his job then, because this is the part that sucks. We get it washed, get it wiped down and dry. Then we start taking components off to get to the work. We'll pull the mirror. To paint that door, you really need that mirror off. I like to pull the belt molding. This job doesn't, we don't have it in this job to do that. These type of jobs are generally economy job. They want it to look right and done well, not particularly done right. That's why they end up at a small shop like this. So we'll pull that rocker cover, the mirror, and the inner liner, and the wheel. So I can cut out the rust and replace it. We can straighten out that rocker down there, so then we can repair the plastic cover and replace it. Alright, so this is that 04 Mazda 6. We were talking about standard operating procedures. We got it in, we got it washed. Soap and water washed. Got it pulled over into its spot where it's going to get the body work and metal work done. Took off the mirror, the rocker cover, the inner liner. That's where this is at. Now I start assessing where I'm cutting the metal out and I'm pulling the metal. We've got a bad whoopsie right there where it's been crushed in. So we'll do the metal work, we'll do all the pulling, then we'll do all the bumping, and then we go into body filler. This is less this is less a video of body repair, more a video of process and why the process is important. Your standard operating procedures. This is how I run my shop. The processes, the procedures evolve over time, but if you don't have something in place, you don't have to have a perfect plan, just have a plan. If you don't have something in place, you're going to suffer long-term effects of that, and that leaves you pissed off and broke. So I'm gonna plug this camera in because I got 4 whole minutes left on it. I'm gonna get back over here and get this metal cut out where the rust is at, and fab up some pieces, get them ready to weld in. And then I'll bump some metal around. We'll come back and see how you guys are doing. Talk to you later. Alright, so I actually patched in the outer wheel arch and this part of the skin on the quarter panel already done. I got a couple pinholes. I'll go back and readdress those in a little while probably. It's been hit, so it's a little crooked and whatnot. We can move that around if we need. The real soup du jour right now, I know this was supposed to be specifically on procedure and whatnot for the shop, but I figured this was a nice enough segment. I'll get this thrown in there. This piece right here, I actually manufactured it out of a piece of 22 or 24 gauge steel. This was all rotted out. It was gone. One of my next beats, I will go. It's almost exactly a butt weld and barely lapped. This is such a non-crucial area. I mean, it's cleaned up. I got weld-through primer blown back inside. I'm actually going to use body cavity wax when I'm done with this weldment. Now mind you, if this was on an outer skin, there's no way in hell I would have put that much weld down, okay? I just filled up a hole, and like I said, most of this is essentially a butt weld. I've got my little sausage dolly. It actually fits up in there nicely, so I can move something around as required. I'm going to get this welded up, and then I'll start fabricating the outside edge of this and kind of show you that. Alright folks, actually I got my hand Joe kind of checking out and chilling. You're going to be looking at waistband and hands. I am building the outer skin for this quarter panel over here, and this is roughly the shape I need. This is so wide, I can't really shape it with the shrinker stretcher. So I've got the radius I want, and I'm going to go about bending this over 90 degrees. I don't have a bead roller. I'm going to do with what we have. Look at that is, folks. Totally not going to fit in that car. Keep working it over so we can get that 90, but bring the stretcher out this time. That way it'll start bringing it back into shape. Every time you push the handle down and tweak it, you twist the face down a little. And we're going to get close to that 90 brake that we need for the wheel lift. Take some dolly work possibly, but so you've got that brake on there, and it's not actually quite 90, but now we're fairly straight. So I'll go over and I'll check this car, see how far. So I gotta start right here, shrinking it back down. Actually, these big bites, the full throw, move the metal less than little tiny bites right off the edge. I got this here, I don't like it, so I'm going to adjust it very gently. I'm going to start looking at it on the car now. You can do outer wheel arches like this too. I do outer wheel arches in 2 pieces when I have to fabricate them this way. Because I'll actually trace the arch out on a piece of sheet metal. Well, once you've done bending that lip, that arch is bigger because you just step it back. And I'm never smart enough to take into account and draw the arc inside there. We're getting somewhere. Alright, here's the part. I'll show you this real quick. I'm showing Joe the piece. That was flat steel, what, 10 minutes ago? I'm going to hammer and dolly some of this a little bit. Once I get it on the vehicle, I'm going to go ahead and get it trimmed and fit. I'll show you how it fits up there though. Alright, I got the camera back in hand. We got that area. Oh, I got that welded up. Not prefixed, but it's pretty damn close. Now, we're going to fit up this piece. And it's not prefixed, but it's pretty damn close. I got some bumping around to do. Some trimming to do. Once I get it all trimmed up and set in place, we're golden. Alright, this was supposed to be about operating procedures, but it turned into a welding video apparently. I use rudimentary tools around here. As we grow more affluent and can afford more nicer things, I get them and we implement those into metal fabricating. Till then, I got a tiny little brake, I got a cheap shrinker stretcher, and we can fabricate rust patches for just about anything. We'll come back at you. I'll show you how this looks buttoned up.